Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's corvettetoday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, Petrol Vibes. Petrol Vibes brings you laser-cut automotive wall art, giving a unique look to any car enthusiast's man cave. Each piece is cut from real steel, powder-coated to last a lifetime, and free shipping worldwide at petrolvibes.com. Use the promo code Corvette Today, all one word, for a 10% discount on your total purchase. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. And a shout out to CanadianCorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette owners from around the world. It's time to bring you the latest Corvette news and headlines with my pal Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is here twice per month, every other week, to keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. We're getting into the holiday season, buddy.
Yeah, glad to be back. Weather's getting just a little bit cooler, and I know that people are starting to look towards the holidays and all the things that come with that. We wish that we knew a little bit more about what was going on, but I think we've got some good news to present this week.
We always have a plethora of good stuff every 2 weeks. And I want to start off the show, Keith, by congratulating the winners of our book giveaway. As you know, Richard Prince just put out a brand new book called Corvette 70 Years, the One and Only, and we gave away 2 books in the show 2 weeks ago. Congratulations to MD Skeet and also Clark Callens. They were our winners of the book. So guys, I think they've already got their books already, and enjoy those books courtesy of Corvette Today.
Yeah, just real quick, we did a review on that book as well. It's a fantastic book. Definitely recommend it for anyone that's really interested in Corvette and likes their Corvette books, likes to add to their library. Richard, again, fantastic job. My favorite, of course, are the photographs. He just did a great job. He went back and got some from the GM archives, and then, of course, all the photos that he's taken over the years as well. We actually have the address if you want to get one signed from him. He told us that basically all the print editions have been sold. So whatever's out there is out there. Hopefully they'll do another printing on that. But he is selling autographed versions. So if you find the review on CorvetteBlogger.com, you'll have his address down there where you can request one. I'd get one for Christmas, and I would not wait. I would get one right now, so you make sure you have it.
It makes a perfect holiday gift. And if you want to listen to the show from Corvette Today, it's show number 130, just a few back. So go ahead and check that out and make sure you get one of those books. It's perfect for the holidays, that's for sure. Keith, let's get into Corvette production at the Bowling Green Assembly Plant. How are things going out there in Kentucky?
It's always interesting. Of course, we had an off week and then we come back and it looks like production is just rolling then. I guess that off week allows them to bank any parts and the supply chain is whatever they're dealing with is working apparently, because one day last week they did 196 Stingrays. I believe that was on Wednesday. That's generally more than what they usually do, which is always a good sign that they're cranking along. We did look back and we see they do 130 or 140 here and there. But of course, we're just counting the retail Stingrays. That count does not include the anniversary cars. It also doesn't include the Z06s. So we do have some numbers. We believe on Monday, we'll see somewhere around 15,600 regular Stingrays produced. That is the non-70th anniversaries. And then again, we're about 1,250 or so on the 70th anniversary cars. So that's around a total of 16,850 2023 Corvette Stingrays built so far for the model year. That's a very solid number. It seems to me, like I said, things are moving along at a little bit better of a clip right now. We've had some owners that have chimed in saying they've gotten their cars pretty quickly once it goes from 38 to the 4,200, which is shipped, and then 5,000, which has arrived at the dealership. There's obviously different things along the ways that could delay getting a car to a dealer. Obviously, everything from how many cars are going that way to fit on the trailer to, are you having stripes? Is there something that you're still waiting on? I know we were waiting on some black wheels at one point, but it looks like things are rolling right now. So Stingrays, I would say, pretty good. We do have some Z06 production news, thanks to Rick Conti and Matt Beaver. They've counted 216 CTF Corvette Z06s built. We've been focusing recently on the retail, but it seems like they're still making some CTF cars. And the thing with those CTF cars is that most of them will eventually work their way into dealer inventory. Sometimes they'll put a lot of miles on some of these cars, and sometimes it's very little, and then some of them are show cars as well. We've seen Chevrolet actually take some of their CTF show cars and unload those at like a Barrett-Jackson. They'll offer money to charity that way. But 216 CTF cars. As of yesterday, 17 retail Z06s. These are the regular cars, and then 22 anniversary Z06s. So I believe, 39 total Z06s, and then we have a total altogether of 255 if you include the CTF cars. They're making them. They're doing what they call a metered rollout. We call this a ramp up, where they start very slow and then eventually move forward with it. It's still slow right now. We're watching. We have no cars so far have been released to their owners. In fact, they're all at 3,800. So they're all still in that quality control, that quality assurance period. So we're still waiting on that. And then finally, the last bit of news we got on production is Ciocca Corvettes of Atlantic City. They did an update on their public list on October 26th. We're able to dump that into Excel and do some sorting and stuff. So on that list, they have 42 Z06s. These are all at status 3,000 or higher. 13 are coupes and 29 are convertibles. And that's really what we've been seeing, is the convertibles seem to be edging out the coupes right now in these early builds. So that's pretty exciting. I don't think a lot of us expected that, especially with people wanting to show off the LT6 under glass. They've got the 13 coupes, 29 convertibles, and they have actually 7 cars so far at 3,800 status. So 7 cars have been built for them. It gives us a snapshot. Obviously, we want to see that move faster. We'd like to see owners eventually get their cars and be able to get them out there and show them off. It's moving. It's a little bit slower on the Z06 side, but it is definitely moving, and we'll keep you up to date on it.
That sounds good. Also, we had 840 70th anniversary C8s built so far as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, that number's a little bit older. Actually, we got around 1,250 right now. It really seems like they are cranking those numbers out. A lot of people are choosing them. That's great, because it is a really cool car. It's a once-in-a-generation kind of thing, generally. When I say generation, a Corvette generation, that you get an anniversary model like this. So, of course, you got the 2 colors to choose from. You get the custom interior. So it's a really cool car, and I know people are going to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Also, I was so excited to see this. On October 20th, the build and price configurator is now up online for the C8 Z06.
Yeah, we've been operating off of the visualizer, which has been good. It allows you people to put together their cars, but it's nothing like the build and price configurator, where in real time your pricing's updated and you're dealing with really the latest information available on the build. We've been doing these blogger builds where we've all been showing our favorite builds and what we do if we were actually ordering a car. I know you contributed to that. You gave us a ceramic matrix gray coupe.
That's right.
I did a black Z06 convertible with the two-tone blue interior, but I think I've already changed that in my mind. I'm like, well, I really like the red mist, or the hypersonic gray with the blue also looks good in my opinion. But that's what the configurator does. It allows people to really see and visualize and imagine what their cars look like. The renderings are spot on. They're great. We did find one little bug in it, and I'll tell you what it is because I've seen a couple threads over our Mid-Engine Corvette forum. Some people will build a Z07 version and it doesn't show the rear wing, and it looks like that there's a glitch with the carbon flash mirrors. When you're going through and it's an option. So if you've got your Z07 package and you say, I want the carbon flash mirrors, the build assistant will come up and say, do you want the carbon flash mirrors and spoiler, or do you want the carbon fiber mirror caps? Well, you actually have to choose the carbon fiber mirror caps because there is no carbon flash on a car if you're going visible carbon fiber. They're not mixing and matching that. A little bit of a glitch there. It looks like if you did have that, it doesn't show the big wing, but you take that out or you change your selection to the carbon fiber mirror caps, then all of a sudden the rear wing shows. So if you're having a little trouble with that, that's what it is there. But this is really great news. It's really the final component for the Z06 build and pricing process that we do. With the build and price, there's this send version or the save version where you just grab the link and it has all your RPO codes and all your customizations, and you can send that to people. You can send that to your dealer. Your dealer can load that right up in their system and then see all your options, and that's your car. So it's a great way to confirm exactly what you want and what you're ordering with your dealer, but also for us not being able to build one, we continue to have fun with it. I would definitely check it out if you haven't been on the build and price configurator yet.
It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to kill about 5 or 6 hours in one day.
That's all? That's all you can kill?
Oh my gosh. I could go a lot longer, buddy, but the combinations are amazing, and it's a lot of fun. Speaking of Z06s, Keith, the Australian version is not going to have the quad center exhaust. What's going on with that?
Yeah, this came out from a report from the Australians Drive website. They're saying that the Z06 models that will be imported to the country will have the export exhaust, which is the corner-mounted outboard exhaust and not the quad center tips in the middle there. It has to do with a couple things. Normally, it's the gas particulate filters are required to cut emissions, but Australia also has probably some of the most strict noise regulations of the different countries that get our imports. So that might be also, it might be a combination of fuel economy and the emissions, and then also the noise regulation. We don't know exactly when the car will be offered there, if they'll actually get any in late 2023 model year or if they'll get them in 2023 as a 2024 model. So we're still kind of waiting on that. But yeah, a little bit sad news for our friends down under that they are getting the outboard exhaust and not the quad center tips.
Yeah. For sure. Also, it was good to see that our friends at the National Corvette Museum have got the exhibit up for 35 years of Callaway Corvettes, celebrating that. I'd love to see that.
Oh, it's great. I've been a Callaway fanboy forever. I remember 1988, I was in college. You're in college in the 80s. There's no social media back then and stuff. I just remember seeing this, probably it was a magazine, Sledgehammer, 254 miles per hour. That was just an unbelievable record to have. Callaway's been at it 35 years. They started with the 1987 Corvettes and the B2K option. The B2K option was a twin-turbo version. And it's interesting because if you look back, Dave McClellan, the chief engineer, had already signed off on the ZR1 project, which was coming in 1990. That was the dual overhead cam LT5s, but also to kind of hedge his bets and to put something out with a little bit more performance. Earlier than that, he turned to Reeves Callaway and they started twin turboing the C4 Corvettes. Over 500 Callaway twin-turbo B2Ks were built. And then when they made the changeover to the LT1 engines later on in C4s, they actually went to what they call their supernatural versions, where they used increased displacement and naturally aspirated engines to create more power. Then they eventually turned back to supercharging with the C6. Now with the C8 here, we actually have a 35th anniversary B2K edition, which is more of a design model. We have a performance version that's going to be coming in early 2023, and that'll be a supercharged version as well. Pretty exciting stuff coming from Callaway, but if you want to see the history of it, there's this great exhibit going on at the National Corvette Museum, and it runs, I believe, until February. So unfortunately, if you're waiting for the bash to see it, it will no longer be there. So you got to get up there now to see it, otherwise it'll be gone.
Our final story, Keith, unfortunately, we had our first C8 Z06 crash. Where was it and what happened?
Yeah, it looks like this happened in Bloomfield, Michigan. There was a picture taken of a crashed Corvette sitting in an intersection. We had a fire truck from Bloomfield, Michigan in the shot there. It turns out that the Corvette was hit in the side by a driver of a Volkswagen Jetta who was turning left from the opposite lane. So it wasn't the Corvette's fault. The driver of the Corvette is actually a GM employee, and this was a CTF car. So I guess if you say, well, there was 216 CTFs, maybe there's only 215. But the accident actually didn't look that bad, and I believe this car would be repairable. So glad that everybody appeared to be A-okay. It's just another one of those milestones in the life of the Z06.
It's got to happen sometime, I guess, right, buddy?
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, Keith, let's take our first break. When we come back, it's Corvette Racing and Corvette Rumors next on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability. And it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum when we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores were returned same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. Either way, Wheelcraft treats your wheels as their own. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at radiatorgrillstore.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 mid-engine Corvette or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette. That includes the front splitter, side skirts, engine appearance panels, and engine fluid caps. Plus, we now also carry the C8 Speedline side skirts along with the engine appearance package and high wing. Our products have been featured in Vet and Corvette magazines. Give us a call, 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Let us help you make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be. American Hydrocarbon.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com or call them, 833 840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me every other week is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. We keep you up to date on what's happening in the world of Corvette. In this second segment, we talk about Corvette Racing and Corvette rumors. Keith, it was good to see that Corvette Racing is going back to IMSA and the WEC next year.
Yeah, I think the split schedule actually works out pretty well. It works out in our favor because as fans, we get double the racing almost. So that's exciting. And the fact is that we're still running these factory teams, which I think is also very important. So many changes coming in sports car racing that it's really hard to follow. But we're going to be racing with a waiver in the IMSA campaign. And then also we have changes in Europe. So here's what we've got so far is the FIA, the World Endurance Championship, is moving strictly to a GTE amateur. So that any pro cars are now gone. Starting in Europe, we'll have Nicky Katzberg will be our pro driver, and then he's being joined by Ben Keating, who will be our amateur driver there. Nicky has raced over there before. He's had great success. He's really fast in the Corvette, so definitely glad to have him full-time. In IMSA, we'll have the duo back of Antonio Garcia and Jordan Taylor. They are the full-time GTD pro drivers, and then they will be joined by Tommy Milner, who is returning stateside and is also going to be handle the endurance racing on the big races like the Rolex 24 and Sebring. And then Tommy will also serve as the primary testing and development driver for the Z06 GT3R program. That's expected to get cars to customers in early 2024 as well. Pretty solid lineup for IMSA for us. I can imagine that balance of performance isn't going to be all that favorable in our direction, but we're racing. We're there. We've got the car there, and everything is gearing up for the Z06 GT3R, which is expected in 2024. This is the 100th anniversary of Le Mans. Still waiting to see how that's going to look for us. But again, it was rumored that we might only have the one car there. And the question is that the GT amateur car of Nicky Katzberg and whoever else we race over there? Be interesting to see how that all shakes out. But we're back for another year, and that's what's really important.
Absolutely right. And speaking of Jordan Taylor, we had another behind-the-scenes video from Road Atlanta for Petit Le Mans.
Yeah, another great installment from Jordan. He just gives us some insight on what the team is facing. A lot of times he'll talk about strategies. Road Atlanta is very tough for our cars, the GTD Pro class in particular, because the amateur cars and the LMP3 cars all have similar power. He says they don't want you to pass. They're not going to let you pass. So it's very difficult there. He also gives us some funny insight into teammate Antonio Garcia and how Antonio handles the autograph sessions. It's pretty funny there. And then finally, we get another round of would you rather questions. I'm not going to share this on the air. You really kind of need to go and look at the video to see the questions that Jordan's posing to other racing drivers about what would they rather have in terms of great balance of performance or X happening to them. You have to find out what the X is, and it's not pleasant.
Oh my gosh.
You want to check that out. These are fun behind-the-scene videos with Jordan. Hopefully, he'll continue to bring us these in 2023 as well.
They are a lot of fun to watch, that's for sure. And this is kind of a racing thing, Keith, and it's kind of funny, but President Joe Biden had a rematch. He raced his 67 Corvette against Colin Powell's son, who has a 2015 C7 Stingray. That was kind of a fun video to watch.
Yeah, so the story is back in 2016, then Vice President Joe Biden was on Jay Leno's garage with Jay Leno. He's not allowed to drive anywhere, so they take him out to the Secret Service training facility. That's where he had his car on this giant skid pad where they do training and testing and all kinds of stuff out there. During that episode in 2016, they're driving around and talking, and then all of a sudden, Colin Powell shows up, the retired four-star general, and he's a Corvette guy. He was a pace car driver at Indy 500 in one of the Corvette pace cars. He was in his new 2015 Corvette Stingray that actually his kids gave him as a present. They raced then, and then, unfortunately, Colin Powell passed away last year. So when they put this together again with President Joe Biden, his 67 Corvette, they invited Michael Powell, the son of Colin Powell, to bring the car back and do a little rematch. It was a little bit of fun there. I think there's a little bit of some Hollywood CGI happening, the way the C2 was keeping up with the C7 there. As a C2 owner with a small block, I'm questioning I'm questioning the ability of that car. They said it hit 118 versus the C7 hit 121, and they were neck and neck, and I'm not believing that at all. The C7 had an automatic and 455 horsepower. Biden's 67 is a 350 horsepower with a 4-speed. So those cars, once you hit that 60 or 70 miles an hour, they start winding up pretty hard. And I've been 3 digits in my car, and it took a while. It took a while.
That's funny.
But it's fun. Regardless of your politics, we have a president that is a Corvette guy, and that's always fun.
That's always fun for sure. Keith, our final story is in the rumors category, and this is according to the Automotive Forecasting Solutions report. There's going to be a Corvette EV and a Corvette SUV coming by 2026. Why don't you break down all this rumor here, because this is a pretty big rumor.
Yeah, this comes from a company called Auto Forecast Solutions, and they kind of watch what the automakers are doing, and they develop these forecasts. And, a lot of times they're pretty spot on in terms of what they're forecasting. I think they also work with vendors and suppliers, so they really have insight into what's going on there. So what they're suggesting is that a Corvette-branded SUV electric vehicle will start production May of 2026. That's how specific they are. May of 2026, a Corvette-branded SUV EV will start production. This production is said to take place at GM's Grand River plant in Lansing, Michigan, instead of the current home in Bowling Green. And that's great for us because it keeps the line clear in Bowling Green to continue to make the C8 Stingrays and Z06s. The Grand River plant is obviously set up for EVs. They're going to build those there anyway. So looks pretty good. There's the whole controversy of, is it really a Corvette or is it just the logo on the side of a car designed to help sell it?
Sure.
We'll have to see. I think there is definitely a market for performance SUVs, especially from Chevrolet. We don't really have anything like that. We have the Escalade that has got the LT4 in it, but nothing really from Chevy that screams high performance from a SUV or a crossover even. That'll be interesting. There's also been some rumors of a Corvette EV sedan that was also maybe under development that might compete with Porsche's Taycan. So hard to say whether this is the same car. The rumor was something out there with an EV and the Corvette name, and it ends up being the SUV over the sedan. We just don't know that yet. Obviously, GM's putting a lot of focus on EVs and pushing hard to ramp up production on those. It could happen, and it could happen sooner, so we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens.
That's a big rumor. That's a big one for sure. Buddy, let's take our final break. In segment number 3, we've got the lighter side of Corvette coming up on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
The holiday season is here, and Mid-America Motorworks is sure to have that perfect something for that hard-to-buy-for Corvette enthusiast on your shopping list. Mid-America Motorworks can help with lots of T-shirts, Corvette car covers, stocking stuffers, and more. They have all of what you need for years and generations of Corvette. Whether it's the latest shirt, jacket, hat, or lifestyle accessory, you can get it at Mid-America Motorworks. Visit mamotorworks.com and shop Corvettes by generation or specific year. You can even shop by price for the perfect gift or stocking stuffer. Call Monday through Saturday toll-free at 866-350-4540 and talk to a Corvette expert. Mid-America Motorworks. Pursue your passion here.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
You're listening and watching Corvette Today with Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com. Learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. If you want a deeper dive into any of these stories that we talk about on this show, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com and get the full story. In this final segment, we talk about the lighter side of Corvette. Keith, over at the National Corvette Museum's Motorsports Park, unfortunately, they're delaying their Z06 driving experience until February of next year.
Yeah, they made some news last month. They did a little bit of a teaser campaign and offered up the ability for people to sign up and actually schedule a Z06 drive on the track. They were looking at November to kick that off, but like everything with the Z06, things are moving just a little bit slower than initially planned. And so it sounds like they're pushing that back off to February. We've had one member of the Mid-Engine Corvette Forum tell us that he was actually able to reschedule for February 10th, but we've had others that say, no, they're holding off on that. They're just waiting to get these cars in, and then they'll have 2 cars as expected to have at the track, and then you go in, you can register, and then I believe the cost is around $1,000 or so to drive these cars on the track. They're not really speed laps, so it's more like a parade lap. You'll probably hit triple digits on that track. It's pretty easy there, and especially with the Z06, it should be easy. But it would still be a fun experience, and especially for those whose builds have been delayed, but you still want to experience the Z06, that's a great way to do it. We're still waiting to see what's going to happen there, but it looks like February is the go date for this, and as soon as they announce new dates, we'll have that and we'll be ready to go.
Also, we saw a C7 ZR1, and I love the C7 ZR1s, ran 180 miles per hour plus in a track event. Give us the backstory on that one.
Yeah, this was like a roll racing drags at Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania. You have 2 cars side by side on the track. You get up to about 30 or 40 miles an hour, and then you punch it all the way to the end. We had Mike of Street Speed was racing his 1,000 horsepower C7 ZR1. He faced off against another car first, got up to like 174, 175. His goal was to hit 180, and he actually did that on one of I believe his second or third pass. What was interesting is he's got a high wing on that car, which obviously generates a ton of downforce. So for this event, he removed the wing totally.
Wow.
It allowed him to get that 180 point whatever to get his goal there. So pretty interesting stuff. If you like the ZR1s and you want to see a little bit of racing action, that's a good video to watch.
I still kick myself for not getting one of those C7 ZR1s. Those are awesome cars. They really are.
Boy, have they gone up in value.
Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. You watch them. I watch them on Auto Trader and Cars.com. The values are way up. They've got mileage on the clock, and they're hovering around the $200,000 mark. I missed the boat, that's for darn sure.
We all did, Steve. We all did on that one.
Also, speaking of C7s, we saw a 2017 C7 Z06 on Craigslist, but the interesting thing was this was VIN number 1.
Yeah, this is a guy that contacted me, says he's got a car for sale and wanted to see if we were interested. And when I saw VIN number 1, I'm like, heck yeah, of course. These are always special cars. Collectors love VIN number 1 cars. Of course, this is the 2017. The Z06 was first released in 2015, and those VIN number 1s are all up in the Hendrix collection, as we know. It's an opportunity for someone to come along and really want to start their own VIN number 1 collection. The car's not cheap. I think he's selling it for around 145 or so. And it's got some miles on it, but not too many. And it looks like he's been babying the car. So for someone out there that wants something really collectible and special, VIN number 1 2017 Z06 is available. And I believe he's in the North Carolina area.
Very cool. Also, this is our feel-good story of the show, Keith. We had a 100-year-old veteran celebrating his birthday with a ride in a Corvette convertible.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This is a World War II nurse named Marion. She's in an assisted living home, and she would comment that she would see her nurse drive in a C7 Corvette Grand Sport convertible. Red one would park it out in the lot. She would comment on every day to him and say, one day, maybe give me a ride in your Corvette. As she hit 100, they had this big birthday party for her. It shows her wearing a tiara in her hair, and she's got a birthday banner across her chest, and she's just all smiles as she celebrated the big day. But she's getting in the car, and she goes for a little ride with her nurse and gets to experience a Corvette convertible on her 100th birthday. So good feel-good story. And again, just appreciate her for her service. I was just up in Washington, D.C. earlier this month and saw a number of the World War II veterans that are flown up there, the Freedom Flights.
Yes.
great to see these people. They get to see the monuments dedicated for their service and their dedication, their losses. So very neat to see this story. We love our World War II veterans. Unfortunately, there are just not so many of them left anymore. Anytime you can celebrate them, definitely do it.
Definitely. Also, this is kind of an interesting story. Matchbox cars. Did you collect Matchbox cars when you were little growing up?
I wouldn't call it collecting. I played hard with them, you know. They never stayed in the case or anything like that. But yeah, we definitely had Matchbox and Hot Wheels.
Well, I still have my Matchbox box of collected cars in my closet here, but I was so interested to see they had a 1/64th scale Gulf Oil Racer, a Corvette, that sold out in less than a week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Mattel's tapping into the collector market. So they have their kids' cars, but then they have an upscale line for adults, and they call it their Red Line Club. It's actually subscriber based. I think you have to pay like $10 to join it. And then once you're part of the Red Line Club, they come up with these special cars that only these club members can buy. So this is a blue and orange Gulf Racer. It's got number 50 on it. It's got the Gulf Oil logos on it. Looks really cool. Of course, the Corvette purists have already reminded us that the blue and orange Gulf Racing livery was for the Fords, and you know, the Corvettes, when they wore the Gulf Oil livery, of course, there's Gulf 1 in 1963. They raced the Z06. That was the traditional white with the blue racing stripes that the Chevys always raced in. But it's a really cool car. It sold out. We caught it a week later. A guy commented to me, he said it actually sold out in one day. And it was only priced at $25. And again, this is sort of a basic car. The design's cool, but nothing opens on it. I don't even know if the wheels turn on them. But for someone that wants to put it on a shelf, it's a cool little Matchbox car.
Absolutely right. Well, that's really cool. I haven't added to my Matchbox collection in eons. It's neat to see the car, and it would be fun to have it, but we missed the boat again.
Right.
And our final story on this show, Keith, we have a birth announcement to announce.
We do. I hear that, and I'm excited to learn more.
Yes. Last week on Thursday, October 27th at 10:56 a.m., I had a brand new baby boy or baby girl, I'm not exactly sure, but it's a C8 70th anniversary white pearl metallic tri-coat Corvette born to me.
All right.
I went ahead and got the coupe because, like we talked about earlier in the show today, I want to see that engine through the glass, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's loaded out. It's got Z51. It's got magnetic ride, front end lift, but I've already got a lot of carbon fiber sitting here in the office waiting for that car to arrive.
I could just imagine that stockpile is growing daily. I know, having talked to you about going through this process, I know that you had to let your C7 carbon fiber edition go, but look what you're getting in return here. So very exciting times for you, and I can't wait to see it.
Thank you, buddy. It's VIN number 1245, so that's pretty cool. And a gentleman in Anderson, South Carolina bought my C7 carbon fiber edition Stingray. So congratulations to him, and I'm looking forward to getting this car. Hopefully this week they can get it on a transport and ship it to Kansas City, and they can get it to my Hendrick Chevrolet dealership, and I can go pick it up and drive it home before the weather gets too darn cold.
Nice. Well, that's great news again, Steve. Love birth announcements. You're getting these updates now directly from Chevrolet. I'm assuming, you know, they send out the updates to let you know where your build is along the process. Sounds like that's all working great. So again, congratulations on your new Corvette.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, thanks again for being on Corvette Today, Keith. All this information is fantastic. And again, if you want a deeper dive into any of these stories, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. Buddy, take care of yourself, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. Everybody out there, if you see other Corvettes, you know, throw up that hand, keep waving, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at AmericanHydrocarbon.com. True Wealth and Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. Mid-America Motorworks at MAMotorworks.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.